A 1 trillion parameter thinking model, free on OpenRouter, with 63 billion active parameters and a 262,000 token context window. That's inclusionai's Ring 2.6-1T. Here's what it can actually do, where it falls short, and how it stacks up against today's best models. Here is the map for this video. First, we will talk about same prompt setup. Then, we will move to Qwen. After that, we will cover GPT 5.5. After that, we will cover Qwen 3.6. After that, we will cover Grok 4.3. After that, we will cover Gemini 3.1 Flash. Finally, we will close with free to zero risk to test. A 1 trillion parameter model that's completely free sounds too good to be true, right? Let's look at so what exactly is Ring 2.6-1T? It's a thinking model, meaning it can show its step-by-step reasoning before giving a final answer. It's built by inclusionai and it's hosted for free on OpenRouter. The model card says it's a 1 trillion parameter scale model, but only 63 billion parameters are active per inference. That's a mixture of experts' architecture, similar to Mixtral or Qwen's MOE models. You get the benefit of a huge total knowledge base without paying the full compute cost. It has a 262,000 token context window, which is massive enough to feed in entire codebases, long conversation histories, or multi-document research. And it's specifically designed for agent workflows, coding agents, tool use, long horizon task execution. The benchmarks it claims to lead on are all agent focused, pinch bench, Cloval, TAU2 bench, GAIA2 search. These aren't generic knowledge tests. They test how well a model can use tools, follow multi-step instructions, and recover from errors. And the best part, it's completely free on OpenRouter, zero cost per million tokens. That's the headline. Here is the part that deserves more time. Additionally, 2 web articles dated September and November 2025 list inclusionai, Ring-1T free chat online, and inclusionai or Ling Flash 2.0 free chat as free chat options, suggesting that Ring 2.6-1T may be a specific version of the Ring-1T model family. However, none of the provided sources offer direct comparisons with other current models, benchmarks, or detailed specifications. For the viewer, this means what is Ring 2.6-1T is not just background. It becomes a practical filter for what to test, what to ignore, and what to watch next. Zero cost, but there's always a catch. Let's talk about what you're giving up. Let's be real, most powerful models cost real money. GPT 5.5, Qwen 3.66 Max, Grok 4.3, they all charge per million tokens. Even the cheap ones like Gemini 3.1 Flashlight have a price tag. Ring 2.6-1T is free. That means you can test it for hours without worrying about your API bill. For developers building agentic systems, this is huge. You can run hundreds of experimental prompts, iterate on tool calling chains, and push the context window to its limit, all at zero cost. For students or hobbyists, it's a no-brainer. You get access to a model that claims to be competitive with paid alternatives without spending a cent. But free comes with trade-offs. OpenRouter free endpoints often have rate limits, lower priority, and no guaranteed uptime. The model might be slower during peak hours, and because it's a free tier, you don't get dedicated computer. Your requests are queued with everyone else's. So while the price is unbeatable, reliability is a question mark. Here is the part that deserves more time. The Reddit discussions, blocked, hint at user interest in RAM usage and agentic coding, but no concrete comparison data is extractable. Therefore, based solely on these sources, the key takeaway is that the model is freely accessible on OpenRouter and is open weight, but its relative performance against other models cannot be assessed. For the viewer, this means why free changes the game is not just background. It becomes a practical filter for what to test, what to ignore, and what to watch next. So free sounds amazing, but there's a price you pay, and it's not money. Here's the thing about free endpoints on OpenRouter, their best effort. The model card says OpenRouter routes requests to the best providers that can handle your prompt size with fallbacks to maximize uptime. But best here means cheapest available, not necessarily fastest. Users on Reddit have reported that free models can be slow during US business hours, with response times sometimes exceeding 30 seconds for long prompts. And if you're building a production system that needs constant latency, a free endpoint is not your friend. You might get kicked off if usage spikes. Also, the model itself is relatively new, released May 8, 2026. That's less than a month ago as of this recording. Community adoption is still low, so there aren't many real-world stress tests. The benchmarks look impressive, but benchmarks don't always translate to real-world agent performance. So the catch is this: you get a potentially top-tier model for free, but you trade reliability and speed. For prototyping and experimentation, it's fantastic. For mission-critical applications, you'd want a paid provider with an SLA. Here is the part that deserves more time. Segnoli Reddit, tu le usually per pain point, dabi, linguaggio real e obisioni, non usually com prova tecnica, se non supportati da fonte autorevoli. For the viewer, this means the catch, rate limits, and reliability is not just background. It becomes a practical filter for what to test, what to ignore, and what to watch next. I know you want a direct comparison. Here's the honest truth: we don't have one yet. But here's what we can. Now for the big question, how does Ring 2.6-1T compare to models like GPT 5.5, Qwen 3.6 Max, or Gemini 3.1 Flashlight? Based on the available evidence, I can't give you a direct benchmark comparison because no independent third-party test has been published yet. The model card claims leading results on agent benchmarks, but those are internal claims. What we know, 2.6-1T has 63B active parameters, which puts it in the same compute class as Qwen 3.6355B at 3B, which has 35B total. 3B active or Mistral Medium 3.5 unknown active, but similar total size. It's smaller than GPT 5.5 in active parameter count, but larger than most Flash models. Its 262K context window is among the largest. Gemini 3.1 Flashlight has WEM tokens, but most others are 102AK or 200K. So for long context agent workflows, Ring has an edge. And it's a thinking model, which means it can reason step by step, similar to GPT 5.5's reasoning mode or Qwen 3.6 chain of thought. But without a head-to-head benchmark on the same tasks, it's impossible to say it's better than or worse than any specific model. What I can say for free, it's the most capable agent-focused model available on OpenRouter right now. If you're building agentic systems and don't want to pay, this is your best bet. Quick aside, if you study from your own notes, try Mnemonic. It turns PDFs, slides and recordings into summaries, mind maps, flashcards, quizzes, and exam practice. The free plan is enough to test the workflow. Link in description. Then we go back to the video. Not every model is for everyone. Here's exactly who should and shouldn't use Ring 2.6 to 1T. So who should actually use this model? Let's break it down by use case. If you're an agent developer building coding agents, a tool using bots or multi-step reasoning pipelines, Ring 2.6 to 1T is perfect for prototyping. The free tier lets you iterate fast. The 2.6-2.2K context means you can feed in entire code bases or long conversation histories. And the adaptive reasoning effort, high anxiety modes, lets you control how much the model thinks before answering. For agent workflows, this is a godsend. If you're a student or hobbyist, you want to experiment with state-of-the-art AI without spending money. Ring gives you a taste of what a 1T scale model can do. You can test it on your own projects, learn agentic patterns, and build portfolio pieces all for free. If you're a production engineer, be careful. The free endpoint is not reliable enough for production. You'd want a paid provider with guaranteed throughput. But you can use Ring to prototype and then migrate to a paid model once your system is proven. Bottom line, if your priority is cost and experimentation, Ring 2.6 to 1T is a winner. If your priority is reliability and latency, look elsewhere. Enough theory, let me show you exactly how to start using it right now. Ready to try it? Here's how to get started in under 2 minutes. Step 1, go to OpenRouter, AA or inclusionai or Ring 2.6 to 1TT, free. That's the direct link. Step 2, click Chart to open the playground. Step 3, if you want to see the model's reasoning, enable the reasoning parameter in the request. OpenRouter supports it. Step 4, paste a prompt. For example, give it a coding task, write a Python script that scrapes a website and saves data to a CSV, handling errors gracefully. You'll see the model output its step-by-step thinking in a reasoning details array. Then the final answer, it's clean, fast, and free. If you want to use it programmatically, OpenRouter provides sample code in the OpenAI SDK format. Just set the model to inclusionai or Ring 2.6 to 1TC, free, and you're good to go. No API key needed for the free tier, but you might want to create one to track usage and get better uptime. That's it. You now have access to a 1T scale thinking model at zero cost. If you want me to test Ring 2.6 to 1T head-to-head against GP 5.5 or Queen 3.6 Max on a real agentic coding task, drop that in the comments. And if this breakdown helped you decide, hit like and subscribe. It really helps the channel keep going.